Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to another candle review. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. I am finally sharing my thoughts on Kringle Reserve Phoenix. I've been waiting to review this candle for quite some time. In fact, I am well past the halfway point here. I'm just going to show you where I'm at. I have about, I would say, maybe like a third of the candle left. Yeah, I have definitely been burning her for quite some time. I really like this scent. It actually reminds me of another Kringle fragrance, so I will mention what that is here in a minute. But before we get into the actual review, I definitely have a little bit of a, maybe a vent session here. But it took me a really long time to get my hands on this Kringle Phoenix. It was one that I wanted when it was initially released. However, oftentimes when Kringle does their releases, they do them at like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're on the East Coast and that is a good time of the day for you, that's great. But I would also urge Kringle to remember that there are also West Coast people that exist, and 9 a.m. Eastern is very early for us on the West Coast. And while I'm definitely awake, usually around 6:30 in the morning, because I do like to get my day started a little earlier, sometimes I am just laying in bed trying to, muster the strength to start the day. So I'm not always ready to hit the computer right at 6 a.m., So it's frustrating because I've missed out on a lot of these reserve releases, and this was one of the ones. Phoenix was one of the ones that sold out immediately. Luckily, it was restocked, but here's the thing about this restock that I'll get into here in a second. It wasn't like a full restock. So sometimes when Kringle, not sometimes, I think this happens quite a bit actually. When Kringle sells out of these reserve fragrances, there is a certain percentage of candles that they hold back, that they refrain from selling so that they can get all of these shipments out. And that way, if anyone has a problem with their order, maybe there is a crack in the candle, maybe it just shatters completely during transit. I feel like that would be really hard for that to happen just based off of how well they package these candles, but it can happen. So they hold a certain percentage back, and then as packages are delivered and there are, complaints or no complaints, they are able to send out more replacement candles if they need to because they kept a few back. But if there's no breakage, they can then turn around and very quickly release, for example, Phoenix on the website. Maybe they have 20 or 30 of them on hand, and the first people that happen to come across it will snatch it up, and then it's gone instantly again. So luckily, one of my friends notified me that she saw Phoenix on the website. She knew I wanted it. She sent me a text and was like, go now. It's gonna sell out in a matter of seconds. And sure as all get out, by the time that I had finished placing my order, it was already, it had a sold out sign on the website. So I still had to kind of cross my fingers that my order was fully going to go through. It said, order processed. So, everything was completed on my end before I saw that sold out. And luckily she came my way. So I really hope that Kringle gets a little bit more mindful in terms of what are the scents that are going to sell out instantly. And I feel like they know it's usually going to be the fruity scents. It's usually going to be the gourmands that sell out quickly. The Reserve line has a lot of more conceptual, not all, but a lot of them are, these kind of, I guess, fancier, maybe more conceptual type scents. Fragrances that I would say your average person may not be willing to take a chance on. They may think, oh, that probably smells good, but I've never smelled anything with all of that in it. So I'm going to wait for, some reviews first so that someone can break it down for me. But, you know, when it comes to a fruity scent or a gourmand scent, a lot of people feel a lot safer just ordering those blind. And so that's why sweet cream flew off the shelves. That's why sprinkled macarons flew off the shelves. Jelly donut, all of the ones that we all love, macarons, the ones we're waiting to come back, those are gone instantly because they're a safe bet. And I have to think that Kringle knows that by now. And I would love for them to be a little bit more mindful when they are pouring these candles. Maybe pour less of the conceptual scents that people might be a little bit more iffy on, and focus on pouring more of things like jelly donut, sprinkled macarons, sweet cream, you know, the safe gourmands, the safe fruity scents that most of us are like, heck yeah, you know, like that's an instant put it in my house type of situation. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, I don't know why we haven't had jelly donut back yet. I don't know why sweet cream isn't back yet. It could very well be a situation of they are just waiting to source more of the fragrance oils. You know, they obviously grossly underestimated those particular scents. And while I do think that initially, when the reserve candles were released, it was more of a like, hey, these are one-offs. These are really special scents. These are things that, you know, we maybe wouldn't put out in other collections otherwise. You know, unfortunately, most of us have fallen in love with a lot of these, and they just really need to be a little bit more mindful when it comes to producing the types of numbers that people really want. Like, I have a lot of you telling me all the time, you're annoyed that Jelly Donut isn't coming back. Why isn't it back yet? Please find out from Kringle when it's coming back. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm asking. I'm asking all the time, where are they? And you know, we are told they are coming back. It's not, you know, that they are never going to bring them back. It's just a matter of we don't know exactly when it's coming back, but we do know it is a much loved scent, so it should be back at some point. So anyway, sorry about that little tirade there. That was definitely not what I necessarily intended, but I do think it's worth mentioning because this is obviously a reserve scent, and this was one of those ones where I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and that was the only reason I got my hands on this. And that's a bummer because I wanted to buy this from the get-go, you know? So anyway, Kringle, if you could be a little bit better about the restocks, or at the very least, maybe accounting for, you know, what's going to sell more than maybe some other scents would. I mean, if they need help with that, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think it's the gourmands. I think it's the fruity scents. Honestly, it's all the stuff that I want. All the stuff that I want is like an immediate sellout. So at any rate, let's finally get into Phoenix here. First of all, love the label, love the colors. It's just a really beautiful, unique label on this one for sure. And this scent is so, this is so beautiful, you guys. I would say I'd link it down below for you, but it's just not currently on there. You can definitely check out what reserve fragrances are currently available, but all of the faves are sold out, so don't go looking for those. Oh, sorry, Alpha's at the base of the camera here, and he's scratching his ear. Okay, there we go. Let's get into the description here. We will talk about what I think this smells like. It's another Kringle scent. We'll talk strength and throw because I am a little disappointed in the strength and throw of this one. It's a fabulous scent, but I do wish it was just a little bit stronger. And then just overall burn quality, especially given that we are on the last third of this one. In fact, I am going to be sacrificing, if you will, this one to the candle crock in my laundry room. I've been waiting to do that, but I wanted to get well past the halfway point before popping it in there. I just think, honestly, this fragrance is going to be a little bit stronger once I place it into the candle crock. So, and that's really what I'm hoping for here, because the scent is delightful, you guys. I cannot recommend the fragrance enough. Okay, so our top notes here are raspberry blossom, sweet notes, peach and apple. The middle notes are apricot, coconut milk, and jasmine leaves. And the base is sugar, musk, caramel, and wood. So this is definitely a very fruity scent for sure. You know what it reminds me of a little bit is Fiji. They're not the same. This is not like some kind of repackage of Fiji, but I felt like once this really got going, I was like, gosh, this smells so familiar to my nose. And I actually had to go through a bunch of my like former videos that I've uploaded and kind of listen to some, which is the worst thing in the world to do. Like if you film, you probably hate the sound of your own voice as well. I'm sure some of you out there hate the sound of my voice. Believe me, you let me know sometimes. So thanks for that. But yeah, like I don't like listening to the sound of my own voice either, but I went through a few videos and then it hit me. As soon as I started talking about Fiji, I was like, oh yeah, it's Fiji. I think this is very similar to that. So if you really like Fiji, I think you're really gonna like this. So what are the most prominent notes to my nose? First of all, I feel like this has been very consistent from the get-go. Like there haven't been any changes in terms of like the notes and how strong they smell at any given point. It's just been the same from the start to, you know, two-thirds of the way down, like very, very consistent. It is an absolute, like it has peach. It has that sweet apple note. It does have a, I would almost call it like a slightly floral raspberry scent. It's not like straight up fruity raspberry. It's a little, like a little touch of floral. I smell the apricot. I don't smell any coconut milk, by the way. Like this doesn't scream like any type of creaminess to my nose at all. I do get just the tiniest touch of green here, but it's more of like, I would say it's more of like a tropical greenness. I wouldn't really say jasmine leaves. It's more tropical than that. Not like your just regular leafy greenness, not like a fresh cut grass or anything like that either. Definitely a very distinct tropical green type note. The base of the sugar, I absolutely detect sweetness in here for sure. It's a very sweet scent. If you don't like sweet scents, I would say maybe don't give this one a go. If you're looking for caramel, I smell zero caramel in here. If you're looking for that woody note, I don't really get a woody note either. All I get predominantly are these kind of sweet fruity notes with a lovely hint of a tropical green note, a really kind of sweet floral as well, and yeah, like a sugary sweetness. It's lovely, you guys. It smells so good. It really is very, very similar to Fiji to my nose. I really enjoyed Fiji myself. And I think, honestly, that's why I like this one as much as I do. So the scent itself, I cannot recommend it enough. If you go for a lot of the same types of fragrances that I typically enjoy, you're going to like this one. Not that it's readily available, but if she comes back and you're curious about it, I give this fragrance 2 thumbs up. Here is what I don't give 2 thumbs up, though. The strength and the throw of this is kind of light for a reserve candle. I'm going to put the strength of this, like, pretty much for the most part at like a solid 5, which I think that's too light. I think that's too light, 1, for a reserve candle, and 2, I also think that's too light for a Kringle candle just in general. With most reserves, like a 7, 7.5 is like the norm for me. This is definitely less than that. It has definitely filled, I've had it here in what I call the fancy lady living room pretty much most of its life. And I can certainly smell it in here. It's perfect for this room, but she doesn't travel much. Like this room right here, just so you guys can see, like this is like a huge open concept situation here. There's obviously the front door. This entryway has a massive ceiling here. But yeah, this room here is open to this whole area out here. And I really can't smell much of Phoenix beyond, like, I would say where the staircase is. And that's really not the norm for Kringle. So the throw, I would actually probably have to put at more of like a 3. it just doesn't travel far, and that's just not the norm for me with these. Do I regret buying this? No, absolutely not. First of all, really desperately wanted it. I was really thankful to finally get my hands on it, and I love the scent. I love the scent. But I think I'm actually gonna have better luck with this one in the Candle Crock, so that is why she's gonna live out the rest of her life there. But yeah, overall, the only thing that stinks about this one is the strength and the throw. And my hope is just that when this comes back, that maybe they can think about reformulating it just a little bit in terms of maybe she just needs some more fragrance oils. Maybe something else went wrong. Maybe she needs some different wicks. I don't know. The wicks seem fine to me. They are, you know, the wicks that are basically self-trimming. You can kind of see through the jar here. They're not crazy tall, but they give me a good wax pool. I did just light this candle about, I would say 15-20 minutes before filming this video. So normally I get a little bit of a deeper wax pool here. But I don't know that it's a wick issue. I think it's just maybe a lack of the correct fragrance oil amounts. I don't know. I don't make candles. I know what smells good, and I know what performs good, but am I a candle expert? No, I'm not. However, this one here, I love the fragrance. I want it to come back, but I want it to come back with a reformulation where I just get more oomph from it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for more oomph. So all that being said, do I give her 2 thumbs up? I give her 2 thumbs up for, you know, the fragrance, but the performance, not abysmal. It's not abysmal, you guys, but I'm just going to give that like 1 thumb up. I just want more. I want more from it. And I think that the Reserve candles are capable of more. Let's all think about our beloved Jelly Donut. She is a powerhouse. Sprinkled macarons, powerhouse. Sweet cream, powerhouse. Phoenix should be a powerhouse. So yeah, whenever she does come back, I hope she is slightly reformulated, but with the same smells. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Phoenix. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Always super helpful to see what you guys think of these candles as well. So I know this was a little bit longer for a candle review, but I just had to get that little tirade about the restocks out there because I feel the same way as you guys do. Believe me, I want the restocks to come a lot faster. It's just really frustrating waiting for them. So here's hoping that as the year goes on, maybe Kringle is able to get a little bit better about that. They're fantastic about taking feedback. This is the one thing that I always appreciate about Kringle is they are always willing to take feedback. They are always willing to make positive changes, and I appreciate that about them so much. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd say check out the description box, but yeah, you're not gonna be able to find this. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.